Hi Simply Reelers. Today my wife and I are going to tell you about our travel trailer, give you a little tour of it. We basically started camping, tent camping, years ago, and as we had kids we graduated into a pop-up camper, and eventually we decided to transition into the travel trailer, which involved using a cargo trailer for a couple of years.
With some cots and bunks. Made it a little bunkhouse.
Cots and bunks, and we put some electric through the wall, and finally got to the point where we purchased this. So we've had this for, what, 4 years? Mm-hmm. And so today we're going to go through and give you a little tour of our Mallard M185 travel trailer with bunkhouse. So
let's get into it.
So we have an awning on this camper. It's electric extending and retracting, and we use it once in a while. It's got LED lighting, which is on this side. Some of the newer campers have it up here, which works better along the roof. We've got the external speakers and external electric alloy wheels. So we have this front storage feature that has these slam latch doors, and they have little magnets on them that hold them open while you're getting things in and out. This side I keep my tools, the chocks, hitch. It's got the bar for the jacks, but I use a 1/2-inch drill, cordless drill, to run the jacks. And cool thing about these doors is they're sealed and they're pretty durable. To close them, all you have to do is just drop it down. We got the dual battery option on ours for extra power when we're if we go boondocking or whatever. We got the two 20-gallon propane tanks. It has a solar connection here, so we can solar charge it. This side. So this is the driver's side storage, and on this side I keep all my water tools, my hookup stuff, fishing poles. I've got the dump station bucket here, and then I have like propane and water filters in this drawer, and then we have the push button LED lighting inside. So over on this side of the camper, one thing I like a lot about this camper is all your water connections are on the same side of the camper as the clean out tube. So everything's right here when you're at the dump station. And since we have a black water clean out, not all campers have it on the same side as the dump tube. Once I learned that not all campers have this on the same side, I realized how convenient this is, because you can run this and the black valve all from the same side. You don't have to run a hose under the camper to the other side. So we have a freshwater tank. We've got our 6-gallon water heater, hot water heater. It's electric and LP. We've got an outside shower. Once in a while I use that. City water connection. So something I don't like about this camper is the dump tube is really low to the ground. And sometimes I catch it on things like parking blocks, or if I'm backing into an uneven campsite. I have to have Karen watch this for me to make sure I don't tear it off, which I've almost done a couple times. So when you're looking at campers, look for one of these that's high up. Got this nice big window here. And we have the offshore marine power cord. And there's a TV connection here. And we got the door for the bunk, which is nice because this gives you extra storage. When we're on the road, we can lock this in that position. We can load scooters in here, life jackets for kayaks, tackle boxes. We usually keep chairs in here and my camp grill, and then all my electrical stuff for plugging in at the campsite is in here too. So pretty handy. You can take a lot more stuff having this extra storage. And whoever sleeps in this bunk can use the door to get in and out, or fresh air or whatever. It's pre-wired for a backup camera, which we don't have. So on each corner of the trailer there's these scissor jacks for leveling it. And then down here below there's a connection for a grill. You can tie into this little fitting here. You can grill out here, so you don't have to use the green bottles of propane. You can use propane from the front of the trailer.
Well, hello there. Come on in. Welcome to my humble house on wheels. Glad you could join me to look around inside of our camper. So, if you look over here starting off, this closet right here that's right by the door has a lot of really great uses. Obviously it has a really nice mirror. I stand here and I do my makeup and do my hair. And then when you open it up, it's got places to hang coats. I've tried hanging all the hoodies for the whole family there before, but then when I do that, you can't really get to anything else. I have a little set of drawers in here that we use to put like extra batteries, little hooks, clippies, Chuck's flashlights are in there, and then extra extension cords and those kinds of things. Also, when we're in transit, I put the Keurig here because it's the only place it really fits very well, and then right next to it I can usually put 2 or 3 full-size cereals. So there's that closet. You got a nice shelf that goes all the way across the top of the bed. Usually that ends up being where I put my purse, hats, cell phones, those kinds of things. Over here initially, like, there's not enough storage space for certain things, so I got these Sterilite drawers. They stack on top of each other. I put all kinds of food and stuff in there. And then this drawer right here, we usually end up putting our shoes in. This is a queen size bed. Very nice. A little tip, I think, Chuck and I haven't gotten it yet, but we would really like to get like a 4-inch foam, because after sleeping on it for 4 years, it's not so comfy. And then underneath here, you can see there's a good amount of storage. The only thing I hate about it is that if somebody's laying up here, it's really hard to get to it. If you unscrew, I think the water heater is under here, so if you ever have to fix anything with that, you can get it from there. And then moving over to the dinette, this sits 4 people very comfortably. We use an extra little stool for a couple of different reasons. One, because I'm usually still cooking or whatever, but this folds down and lays into a bed. I'm 5'4". I can sleep here pretty comfortably, but if you're any taller than that, it starts to get a little crowded. Nice big picture window. Usually we try to direct the camper in the right spot, so this is where we get to look out at all of our pretty scenery. There is some overhead cabinets for storage on both sides. You can see that I get a lot of things in here. Cups, plates, bowls. I have some coffee cups back here. There's a spot back here. I put some games and coloring books. I keep the kids' cards up here. These little Sterilite locker baskets you can buy at Walmart. They're usually like 97 cents, especially around back to school time. And I keep our toaster up here, and then I have a little shelf organizer on this end that I put some extra oven. I have a toaster oven that I use since there's no oven in the camper, and then I have a couple of baking pans that I use in there. Underneath here, there's also a couple of really nice lights. So for extra lighting at night, we're playing card games, we can turn the overheads off and use the little lights there. You have this really nice air conditioning unit here, all electric, and it's got these little vents on the side that pop out, so when you get it turned on and going, you can make it nice and cool in here. underneath each bench, there's storage for lots of different things. So I can show you kind of what I get in here. This just pulls up like this. Extra laundry we put in there. I've got extra linens, the kids' outdoor toys, boomerangs, badminton, all that. Extra lunch boxes, so in case Chuck goes fishing, he's got a lunch out there on the lake. This side I usually put appliances, and I can show you how much I get in here with that, especially now that the microwave is dead. But I usually put extra sodas in here and water bottles. I got my little toaster oven. Another little oven thingy for baking different kinds of things. Lots of good storage right there. It is kind of a pain though, since it doesn't have the drawers. It's weird, it's rounded here on the bottom. If it had a drawer or a door right there, it'd be easier access with somebody sitting here, because normally whoever's sitting here has to get up and move. I've got the switch here for the awning, a plug. I'm gonna get a little pigtail because I like to put my Keurig up here on the counter so that I can use the sink space, and I'll show you that in a second. But up here is the radio / DVD player, and it's got inside speakers and outside speakers. And then you've got another, lights and things up here. We put this up here because it was too much to have it on the counter. Anyway, I used to always put my Keurig here, but then if I do that, I can't use the sink. And so this is the bigger side, and this is the smaller side. I don't know why they made the Mallard with 2 separate sized sinks, because it's just awkward. So that's one of the things I don't really like about it. But if you can figure out the organizing part so that you can keep the counter space, there's lots of good sink space. Up here is where we mount the TV. You'll see that in a second. And we did a swivel, so I can point it this way if the kids are on the bunks, or I can point it back this way. Get it out of the way because I'm short, so it's always in the way when I'm cooking. I use these 3M Velcro strips because I was always looking for these things, and I hate trying to find them. So all the remote controls are nice and Velcroed there.
Okay, so we ended up hanging our own TV because the camper didn't come with one. And I installed the bracket, and we went and bought a small TV to put in here. And got all the hookups and everything. The radio for the camper does a DVD player, so everything for the wiring is back here behind the TV. And you're able to just hook it all up.
Looking down here under the sink, there's a couple of things here I wanted to mention. Got a good size trash can. But one of the things I didn't like when we first bought this was this little flimsy piece. This is only like 1/8 inch laminate junk. And it's only attached with this itty bitty like 3/4 by 3/4 piece. You can see it's kind of, the first couple of times I put stuff in here, I pushed it right off. So what I did was I built a little shelf in here that has 4 big like 2x2s under each corner, and I went ahead and put screws in it so you can take it apart, because all of your like sink connections and drains are back in here, and the heating duct is back here. So using the screws, you can take it apart in case you ever have to fix anything. Anyway, and then with that I could put this little set of drawers here, so I have my sink stuff, toothpicks, matches, and then I found these little organizers at Walmart. They're also pretty cheap, so I could put my little silverware here, steak knives, and that kind of thing. For that, okay. Oh, and I did the little 3M strip here, so I could do that. Oh, I got this from my mom for Christmas. It helps a lot, because what I accidentally didn't know at first, until I learned from YouTube, these are cutting boards, and I used the top, unfortunately, at first, and so I have the marks. Always use the back side, so that way when you're camping or you decide to resell it or whatever, it doesn't have the scratch marks on it. Up here is the microwave. This is a high point. It was actually kind of a low point for me. I tried to do like, I can't remember if it was 5 little macaroni and cheeses or microwave pizzas. The 5th pizza like blew something in the microwave, and so it hasn't worked since then, so I gotta buy a new microwave. And I think it went out right after the warranty expired. And then you have a really nice 3-burner stove. This little rack comes up so you can clean everything underneath. The only thing I don't like is we have had a couple of times where these in transit they're not tied down very good. So you hit a bump too hard, that comes off. Just carry extra screwdrivers. It's got a light on top. Oh, that's the fan, there's the light. But I have noticed that even if I'm cooking and I'm not burning something, I could be just cooking ramen noodles, it'll set off the fire alarm. And it is really loud. It has its own little spark igniter thing, so you don't have to use one of those lighter sticks. And then towel rack right there. This is kind of cool because under here I can get a lot of my dry goods. I put bread in here, all my canned goods, anything I'm cooking with, all my extra towels are in here. I stack my pans down here. Here's another one of those little chintzy pieces I was telling you about, but it has all your gas connections and whatever back here, so you can fix things if it needs to be maintenanced. But usually I'm looking around the house for more food to put in there because I'm like, I still have space. What else can we eat? Anyway, and then up here you have your nice freezer refrigerator combo. Lots of space in here too. Again, I kind of can't believe how much I can fit in here. I usually put my meats and cheeses down in here. These I found at Walmart in the bath section, which are kind of cool, so they can help organize your shelves. But I can usually get a full gallon of milk in there and lots of stuff in the freezer. Over here you've got the double bunks. The only thing we hate about this area is that there's no ladder. So we had to buy this fold-up stool, which has some interesting uses. So Faith uses this to hop up onto the top bunk. But in the wintertime, we also use it to hold this door open, and I'll show you why in a minute. This is the bathroom area. There's only 2 heater vents in here. One is over by the front door. The other one is back here in the bathroom. So if we want the back end of the camper to stay warm, I usually have to prop the door open so that the heat can still come out and around. I found over the door hangers so I can hang towels up in here. This is some pretty good space though for right here. We got a little toilet roll holder here. You've got your things for the tank, water pump, water heaters, electric and gas. You can switch those off. This also has a fan and a skylight, so you can open that up anytime you need to get some extra air. This little medicine cabinet here, I got some 3M strips. These are just those little plastic toothpaste or toothbrush holders, and I just kept the bottom half so we could do that. Got a little shelf thing here. I usually put our vitamins and medicines up in here, and that's all nice and good. I've got a little tension rod here so I can keep my broom in place, extra little trash can for whatever I needed. And then this is just one of those shoe racks for your closet. Velcro's up there at the top, but I keep extra towels and toilet paper in there and little things like hair barrettes and whatever. This is kind of nice though, because I'm 5'4". It's a little short for Chuck being 6 foot, but it's a decent sized shower. At least you can get in here. Bradley's been in here a couple of times taking a tubby, and he's 5'11". So you can wash off after going to the sand dunes and that kind of thing.
So another cool feature on this camper is this little utility light. So for hitching up at night, you can turn this on and off. Sometimes it helps as a porch light too. It does have a porch light under the steps as well. Okay, so that was the quick tour of our travel trailer. A couple things that we had in mind when we bought a travel trailer, or decided to go to the travel trailer, was easy setup, and you know, with the pop-up and the tents, we kind of got tired of setting everything up and tearing everything down.
Just to pack it.
Yeah, so the idea of having a travel trailer kind of allowed us to be able to leave all our camping gear with the trailer, and when we get home, we just have to unpack food and clothes pretty much.
Hard-sided is nice too, because like in the pop-up, every time it was windy, like you'd wake up in the middle of the night with the flap, 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 and yuck.
Yeah.
done with that.
And this one has the 2-inch insulation, so here in Colorado sometimes we end up camping in the snow, so it keeps us insulated and warm pretty nicely. At the time we bought this one, we had the V6 Jeep Cherokee, so we bought it at Camping World, and the sales lady there kind of narrowed everything down to 3 campers we could buy that our vehicle would pull at the time. So this one's 33,575 pounds dry weight. So I think the Cherokee can tow, it's either 5,000 or 5,500 pounds. So there were 2 other campers we looked at that had the tent
Pop-out ends, yeah.
We decided we didn't want that because that
Really
would
glad we
involve,
didn't go with that.
yeah, because that would be more setup again. It'd be kind of like the pop-up camper.
Yeah, how many times did we pull up the beds in the rain?
Yeah, no fun, and the wind.
Ugh.
So we decided on this one because it was all one piece. I think the only setup and tear down we do is the TV and the bed, the dinette, turning that into a bed.
Yeah, because Brad still sleeps there occasionally. Although the last camping trip, I let him sleep on the bed because I wasn't sure if he would sleep better, being that he's 5'11" and I'm 5'4", but whatever.
Yeah. So now we have a vehicle that can tow more. We got the V8, and I think we can tow 7,200 pounds dry now. So we kind of have this option. We can look for a bigger camper in the future. So things we're considering now with teenage kids, we're kind of thinking maybe a toy hauler type, so we can bring all the bikes and scooters and kayaks or whatever else we need to bring, and the dog.
And all his gear.
Yeah, maybe something a little bigger because the kids are taller now, and climbing into these tiny bunks is not.
They've grown a lot in 4 years. My
Yeah.
grocery bill can attest to that. The toy hauler ones that we've looked at that have the bunks in the garage space, as they call it, it's more open. Like right now, even Faith can't really sit up all the way. Brian's on the bottom, so he has a little bit more headspace. He can sit up straight, but she can't. And in the garage spaces on the toy haulers, there's plenty of headspace, and Brad, he likes to sleep on the floor anyways, so we figured we'd just get some cushions and he could either lay on the floor or
Sleep on a
cot, and so it gives them kind of their own space where you don't have to tear down the table and every time it's time for bed.
Yeah.
That gets old after a while. It's doable, but
All part of the RV life. Huh? Oh, the next camper we'd look for maybe a higher dump tube. So Karen doesn't have to crawl around in the campsite and make sure I'm clear of all the obstacles that could tear that thing off. We're looking for maybe a bigger table.
a bathroom that has a sink in it, because right now when it's like, again, your bathroom time, whatever, everybody's got to use the same sink, or I'm cooking and somebody needs to wash their hands. That's such a pain.
Yeah.
But it's nice to have the sink set up in there compared to when we were just doing the cargo trailer. And it's nice to have the bathroom compared to just having the cargo trailer, but to have a sink in the next bathroom, so you at least have two sinks, that would be super nice.
Yeah. And maybe an oven.
An oven would be really nice, so I don't have to have the toaster oven.
Yeah.
But, you know, you make do when you figure out what space you have, and then you find like little tricks and stuff. And I was going to mention, if you go to Amazon and you search RV organization, you would not believe the things that came up. So a lot of these people who've been doing this for a really long time, they use like every possible wall space, and they make it so you've got every nook and cranny where you can organize and put things in there, and it is just phenomenal, the things that are out there. So do that and look for certain things.
Yeah, and there's a lot of channels on YouTube where these folks are full-time RVers. They have great tips for, you know, we're not full-time at all. We just go camping here and there. But these full-timers have really good tips that, I mean, when we started RVing, we watched several of those videos and got some great ideas right off the bat, like how to run the dump and how to get organized, things you can expect to happen when you're
Don't
camping.
forget to put the awning in. That was
Yeah.
the first.
So, and one important thing that at least I got off of, there's a channel we follow called Keep Your Daydream, but their whole philosophy was like, don't wait till you can go. I mean, if you have to start small, but don't wait till you have the perfect camper or the perfect time in your life.
Or the perfect towing vehicle.
Perfect vehicle. So they pretty much said just get started. So that's kind of where we were like, well, we'd like to get the travel trailer, but we have a cargo trailer. Maybe we can camp in that until we get the next one. So that's kind of how
Baby
we
stepped it up.
transitioned. Yeah. And now we're thinking, well, you know, we've had this for a few years now. The family's growing, and maybe it's time to go
Step
to the
it up
next
a little
step.
more.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of a fun adventure we're on.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, that's it. Right?
I guess so.
So we'll wrap this one up, and thanks for watching. Hope you learned something in this video.
Get outdoors, go camping.
Yeah, get out and have fun. So we'll catch you on the next episode.